Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. As many of you know, I am a woman in long-term recovery. I am a CARC, I am a CRPA, I'm a rape crisis counselor, and I am a Narcan trainer. If you look in my description box down below, you will find a link to all my social media, things that I've been involved with in the past, my Amazon wish list, which is super important. I use it to help the people in my local community who are struggling, newly home from incarceration, rehab, you know, just parents who are just having a hard time, because we all know how baby diapers are super duper expensive. If you guys hear a little tapping, Frankie is running around while I am recording this. She has finally learned how to run, so it's a good sign. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about something that is widely known, very important, and often overlooked inside. I'm going to talk to you about mental health and mental illness on the inside. This is a very, very important topic because I feel like, sadly, over 95% of the people that are incarcerated have some form of mental health issues. And I just do not feel like the jails and the prisons are equipped to deal. I just do not feel like the jails and the prisons are equipped to deal with the monumentous amount of people that come through that suffer with these types of issues. So as we all know, SUD, which is substance use disorder, and MH, which is mental health, go hand in hand. 90% of the time, you do not have one without the other. I know for myself, my substance use disorder is a direct effect of my mental health and the trauma that I suffered as a child. So that being said, I have crazy anxiety. I suffer from bouts of depression. I wouldn't go as far as to say I have insomnia, because it's not insomnia that I have, but I definitely have sleeping issues, maybe we should say. My anxiety from the way I lived my life in active addiction is crazy. As of today, I absolutely do nothing. I think the most crazy thing that I do is I speed. Oh, excuse me, the baby wants to come up. So I tend to drive faster than the speed limit. I kind of feel like everyone does. I'm just moving my microphone up so Snazzy Pants over here doesn't hit it and give you guys a headache. So that being said, I do nothing wrong, and yet my anxiety is still ridiculously high, unfortunately. So when you are incarcerated, I feel like this is the time that a lot of people tend to say, okay, I realize my mental health is poor. Let me do something about it. And they ask to be seen. A lot of times people ask to be seen. Sometimes the reason people ask to be seen is for the right reasons. Other times it is not. Now, sometimes people just want to get put on something because they need an escape. And I get very, very well understand that. But unfortunately, I have seen in my extensive prison times that I have done, sorry for all the animal noises, guys. We're like a menagerie here right now with kitties and puppies and all other things. Well, that's it. We just have a super amount of plants and kitties and puppies. Anyway, getting off the beaten track. So if some of you may or may not know, altogether, I've done roughly between 6 and 7 years inside. Incarcerated, in prison, on the other side, on vacation, whatever you want to call it. Everybody has a different term for it. So during my extensive vacation times, I have seen a lot of mental health professionals while I was inside myself. And I'm going to keep it on the eye because not everybody has the same experience. Don't mind Frankie. She's like burrowed in my armpit trying to take a siesta. So during my times inside, I always feel like very reflective and very, well, I'm going to work on myself and try and make this better. If I want to live, I want better, I deserve better. You know, just I really reflect on the things that have led me to the current situation that I'm in at the time. Now, sadly, when I go, I try and get to see a psychiatrist or psychologist, which they do have inside, but they come once a month, and they have a substantial amount of women that they have to see. Now think about it. Say there's 1,000 women in the prison. 800 of them have mental health issues that are severe. Hands down, there's not a doubt in my mind. Now, mine are definitely stronger and brought on more by my substance use disorder and active addiction, you know, but if I am not using, they are usually, I don't know where she's trying to go. I'm sorry, guys. If I'm not using, if I'm eating properly, sleeping properly, being self-conscious of how I'm acting and doing and, you know, practicing self-care, they're manageable to a point. If I'm also adding on to my self-care, if I'm speaking with someone and, you know, I'm working out the kinks, so to speak, and the growing pains of life in general, we'll say, I usually am in a much better state of mind. Being in prison and being incarcerated sometimes does not allow those components to happen. You know, sleeping well doesn't happen. I'm a very, very light sleeper. Are you done? I'm a very, very light sleeper to begin with. And being in prison is not ideal for that. The lights are always on. There's someone walking, the keys, you know, that's a PTSD thing for me, is keys on a key ring, because there's so many of them, and that's a whole nother video. But, you know, not being able to eat properly, not being able to sleep properly, not being able to talk to someone I trust in a private setting. So I have gone to ask to see, sign sick call, and go on through the whole rigmarole of signing a sick call slip and waiting to be seen and blah, 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 blah. And every time I get there, the like nurse practitioners who I see first, they're always quick fix, and I have seen more girls on this medication that I would think the jail gets a kickback. So Seroquel is like the candy of the jail. It's constantly being prescribed. I see girls on it all the time. It's an antipsychotic. So it has its place, but not for every 5 females that walk through the door, you give it to 4 of them. You know, it's just crazy. It is the most widely used drug, I feel. And then once you get to that point, she's like, oh, just take this. You'll sleep better. You'll feel better. You'll eat more, so you'll sleep better. It's just absurd. And then I ask to see, you know, the psychologist or psychiatrist. Oh no, the Seroquel's fine. You're fine. You'll be fine. Come back and see me in 6 months. You know, you have to go to sick call every night. You have to go to med call, every night. Pick up your medication. Make sure you take it the right way, and you'll be fine. But how is this going to help my anxiety? How is this going to help me focus more and work on myself more and help me with my addiction? You'll sleep better. You'll eat better. It'll be great. But I don't need this medication. Isn't there a medication? Or wouldn't talk therapy be better? This will be great. Okay, so now here I am. Can I help you? Where are you going, girl? Can we come on to this side maybe? Okay. So now I am on a drug that truly is not what I need for my mental health. And I'm going every night, and I'm taking it to the point that it puts me in a makeshift coma. And yeah, you know, in order to get to see a accurate mental health professional while you are incarcerated, once in a blue moon, I've heard girls say like, oh my God, I finally got in to see the therapist and she is amazing, or he is marvelous. I personally cannot speak on that because it's never happened for me, unfortunately. Every time I would be incarcerated and I would look to see something, it didn't happen. The only time I feel like my mental health was ever addressed while I was incarcerated was when I was at Lakeview Shock. And the only reason why I say that, we had counselors and DIs, drill instructors, instead of COs, corrections officers, that actually gave a shit. And they talked to us and made us talk about things from our childhoods, our pasts, our relationships, our teen years, the good, the bad, and the ugly. You know, they really made us delve into it, and they made a kind and caring and trustful space to do it. You know, my shock sisters, I might not speak to them every day, but there is not one girl that I went through there with that if they needed me, I wouldn't be there for them in a heartbeat, because the community that they provided for me for 6 months changed my life. Sincerely changed my life. And I'm who I am and where I am today because of that. That is the only positive experience that I can say happened in a mental health type of capacity ever in all my years of incarceration on and off. And it's super sad. People are so quick to give out medication that is not accurate for what the problem is. And it just blows my mind that this is allowed to happen. That medication is not made for everyone. Like I said before, as an antipsychotic. And I feel like the prison system must get a kickback for the way they prescribe it. And it's totally sad and it breaks my heart. Here you have people in a closed off environment where you could really give them the freedom to reach into their minds and work on the problems that they have in a safe space behind closed doors. I'm not talking about in general population. I'm talking about with medical professionals, where you can actually help them improve their mental health and send them back into the world better than when they came in. And instead, we just want to medicate people to keep them quiet and still. And I feel like that's all Seroquel does. I mean, if you're at home and you're on the medication and you're under, you know, advisement from a doctor or nurse, psychiatrist, psychologist, and it's genuinely helping you, that's amazing. And I commend you for doing it, and I'm all for it. But to be given out in mass amounts while people are incarcerated just because it's the easiest thing to prescribe hurts my heart for the people who truly need help, like myself, you know? And mental health is so stigmatized and already so difficult for people to discuss because it's such a personal thing. And unfortunately, when all we do is just shove pills down people's throats and keep them quiet, it just makes them secluded more and more and just drives the stigma on even further. And it makes me sad. If you guys have any questions about mental health, please reach out and I will do my best to answer them as best as possible. I am not, I repeat, I am not a mental health professional. I am someone who suffers from mental health issues myself. And if we can continue to form our church as we have in our community, maybe we can help each other. But I am not a mental health professional, and I don't claim to be, ever. My mental health is not strong enough to be professional. So I hope you guys all have a beautiful weekend. And remember, we recover loudly, so those behind us do not suffer in silence. This weekend coming up on Sunday, I will have a very, very special video for you. This Saturday, which will be tomorrow from when you are seeing this video, is Black Balloon Day. So Sunday, I will show you all about Black Balloon Day and hopefully create some more awareness about drug addiction, overdosing, and everything else in between. I hope you guys have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye.